Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today you join me to discuss the V4 engine. I'm going to tell you if I think the V4 is worth the hype. Is it worth your money? Have I regretted buying this one? If that interests you, stick around and I'll catch you after the intro. So guys, the V4 comes in a few different forms. One of them is this one I'm on right now, which is the 1077cc Aprilia V4. Very famous engine. It's well known in the industry for being a really good engine. Strong, quite highly strung, you could say. Quite fine-tuned, as well as likes to drink a bit of oil here and there. But performance-wise, a very strong engine with an exceptional mid-range, and yeah, it's got good torque too. There are a few other V4s on the market. You've got the Ducati V4 and the Panigale and the Street Fighter and various other V4s. There's also a V4 and I think a Chinese bike now, which I've seen, which is quite interesting, which is a 400cc V4. That's quite an interesting engine. Now, the V4 is mostly known for its use in MotoGP as a race engine, but they have made their way onto the streets in the last decade, you could say. I believe you've got in the last decade you've seen more, in the last decade you've seen more common use of the V4. There are bikes out there with the V4 engine which are slightly older, but essentially they are known for being a bit of a lovely, a bit of a saucy engine really when it comes to sound. The sound of the V4 is a sound like no other. With the V4, I've had this bike for several months now, and I've had pretty much. I haven't had most. Have I had most engine configurations? I think I probably have had most engine configurations by now. I think the only bike I haven't had is a three-cylinder Triumph engine. So I feel like I've got a little bit of experience and enough to tell you what I think of it and how it performs in comparison to other bikes. Now, my last bike was Yamaha MT-10, the crossplane, probably the closest non-V4 engine you can get to having a V4. So my last engine, or the last bike I had, was an MT-10 with a crossplane. Phenomenal engine. I really love that bike. And I love the engine. I love the performance, the noise. I think arguably the crossplane engine is my favourite engine sound alongside the Tuono. I think I wouldn't be fussed if someone gave me either engine. I'd be quite happy with either or. So that's probably the closest I could get to a V4 at the time. And then I bought this one because the Aprilia was on my bucket list. And performance-wise, the difference between this and the crossplane is quite simply the mid-range, I believe. The mid-range on the MT-10 is kind of flat, but it's good, it's strong, but it's just a bit flat. Tuono is stronger up the top and also in the mid-range. Handling-wise and general usability, the V4 is not good on low-speed stuff. So if you want to commute on a V4, I probably wouldn't advise it. I wouldn't personally buy a bike to commute on, which is a V4. You're spending a lot for maintenance. They're usually quite highly strung, like I mentioned. So if you're putting miles on a V4, to commute on, you're going to be spending a lot on maintenance. If that's what you really want to do, then that's cool. But yeah, just bear it in mind. You're probably going to have a much cheaper, easier life if you had, let's say, a 600 or 1000cc inline 4 without all those maintenance costs, running costs and stuff like that. The V4 also drinks fuel at a phenomenal rate. I have a few friends with V4s now. I have two of my mates have Aprilia Tuonos. A couple of my other mates have Ducati V4s. One of them, I think, averages about 80 miles per gallon, which is like terrible. So you're getting a full tank on like 80 miles or something. 80 miles? What am I saying? He gets a full tank. He gets a full tank on then he gets about 80 to 90 miles, which is pretty atrocious if I say so myself. This isn't great either, but it has a bigger tank, so. But the V4 now. This is what it's strong at. Oh my god, the noise! I haven't even spoke about the noise yet on this bike, but it is absolutely sexual. The noise is what sold me this bike. My friends were like starting up their Tuonos next to me, and I was on my MT10, and when a Tuono's on tick over, it just beasts everything. And I had to have one. So yeah, like I was saying, round town, this bike kind of sucks, and it was getting to me a little bit, where I thought I've bought a bike where the usability isn't as good as the MT10, and I do remain with that statement. The usability is not as good as, for example, an MT10. It's not as comfortable as an MT10, but it is so rewarding when you actually do what motorcycles are meant to do, and you get on it and you have a great time in the twisties, in the mountains. Unlike what I'm doing right now, and then you will be highly rewarded with a V4, because that's when they come into their own. They're a race engine. They love being revved. They love going through the gears and spending their time performing. You know, I don't really care too much about low down usability, because if I'm, you know, spending most of my time in a town on a bike, I was about to say MT10 there, on a bike, then I shouldn't really be on a bike, because I don't buy bikes to commute with. I buy them to go and have fun on with mates, on holiday, and that's what I love. God, it's tight in here, isn't it? So if you're thinking of a V4, then I would just suggest you think about what you want. Do you want usability? Do you want outright performance and ultra crazy mountain carving, sexually arousing noises? And if you do, then I can't really recommend a V4 enough. Good old Chichester. Feels like a lifetime since I've been here. Oh, listen to this bike down here. Naughty. Another thing about the bike is it might cost a bit to run. Let's be honest, it's more expensive than your old Suzuki Bandit. But it is oh so rewarding. They also run very hot. Just picking some daisies. So yeah, don't worry about it too much. As long as the fans work and the coolant is fulfilled, you shouldn't have many issues with it. I think I might pay my friends at Helmet City a visit today. So was the V4 the wrong choice for me? No, it wasn't. I really am a fan of trying as many different things as I can, and the V4 is no exception to that. I always wanted to try one. I love the noise of them, and yeah, I think they're amazing. They're really good fun, especially if you're out for a weekend blast or whatever, and I think you should definitely try one. See, you got lots of choices with the V4s. I mean lots. You have a couple of choices. You have Ducati, obviously, with their V4 in the Panigale and the Street Fighter, if you want to pay a premium for that. I don't know if they suffer from much. I don't think they do. I think they're fairly solid. You obviously do need to pay for a Desmo service at the same, I believe it's the same intervals as the Aprilia, so fairly frequently, every 6,000 miles or something, or 12,000 miles I think it is. No, 12,000, that's it. So you will be spending out of your behind in order to service it, because, you know, Ducati comes with a Ducati tax. You also got the Aprilia, also a pretty solid engine, again high servicing, I would say, compared to most other bikes, but again very rewarding. And I think you pay that extra for the niche of having a V4 and the noise. You know, they are exotic, especially when I hear one I'm like, oh, it's a V4. They just are pretty sexy, aren't they? So have a think about it. If the cost is worth it for you, but just listen to it as it just hollows through. I'm only doing 30, but God, it sounds good. Same with the crossplane, they sound wonderful, and they're not even a V4. So maybe that's a better idea if you do want a, if you are thinking that you want something that sounds a bit like this, then maybe a crossplane should be on your list of to tries, because an MT10 crossplane, you know what, all of the crossplane bikes sound great. The MT07 I think sounds insane. It sounds so good for what it is. It's a 75 something horsepower bike, and they sound amazing when they go by. I have to sometimes just take a double listen and just to check that it's not a V4, because they sound epic. And yeah, I'd strongly advise you try a crossplane, because the characteristics of a crossplane, I think the benefits you get from it are you get the usability with the sound and with a strong performance. And if you want the legit V4, you'll have a legit V4, but you sacrifice that usability, that down low sort of smoothness with the clutch and the throttle. And all the time I find myself, if you go below 20 mile an hour, you're sort of like feathering the clutch and, you know, playing around with it, and it does annoy me. But again, I bought the bike for the faster stuff, the enjoying myself kind of riding, not the around town kind of riding. And I rarely ride around town, but unfortunately we all have to, well, I say we all, I have to go through bits like this in order to get home, so I have to experience a little bit of throttle control. And well, it's not that bad for you, is it? Oh, bit of throttle control never hurt anybody. Like that, it's such a long time before you can fully release the clutch, if that makes sense. I'm wondering how the picture is at the moment, because I've bought me a set of ND filters, and obviously trying to get my camera to reduce the light that it's showing. I was getting a lot of overexposure, lots of white bits, so I'm hoping to get rid of that. The V4s are also a little bit skinnier. Like, this bike feels so skinny compared to my MT10, and it's because the engine is skinnier. It's only 2 cylinders wide, obviously, so it just feels, you know, like a smaller bike, I guess. Doesn't have that presence of the MT. I say presence, it has the presence of the MT10, it just doesn't have the size. But again, some people don't want that, you know. Some people want the smaller bike, and they don't want a massive fat thing. Here we go, the Popo. Oh, he's been arrested, that's hilarious. Naughty, naughty. That's funny. Your average guy, average teenager getting arrested on a weekday. Fuck all to do, so he's stealing, probably. I love people that buy cars and they have no idea about the size of the car. They just brake. They see any sort of gap, they won't go through it. They'll brake and hesitate, and then they'll just go through it anyway. It's sort of like they're like, oh my god, should I go through it? I'm going through it, flat out, straight through the gap. They'll crash or make it, one or the other. What was that? I don't know if you saw that. That Mazda, was it Mazda? No, Toyota MR2 had a flipping air duct that's going over the roof. Nuts. Anyway, but that's it for me, guys. Just wanted to share my thoughts on the V4, and hopefully this helps you if you are looking to buy one. For now, I'll catch you on the next one. Ciao for now.